Good morning YouTube. Welcome to a day in my life as a personal trainer. I'm going to take you through some bits that I will do day to day, my training, PT sessions, the food that I eat. This is also including now the road to becoming a natural pro bodybuilder. So after competing this year, coming second in Britain in FitX Federation, I'm now looking at taking a 2-year off season and then competing again in 2 years time to then attempt to get a natural pro card in one of the natural federations. So that is the plan, that is the goal, and I'm gonna take you along the road with me, which is super exciting. Right now I am I'm setting somebody up, onboarding somebody onto my client app that I've got ready for our session later on today, and then I've got a couple of sessions later, gonna train. So I'll show you what I'm doing for that. So normally with the app, it's just through like online clients, and I'll send them like a Loom video as well of me explaining exactly what I need them to input every single week so that I can see what changes we need to make. But because this client is like a PT client, she also gets a training program, meal program all included, and because I'm seeing her later on, I'll be able to show her, give her a run through the app of how it works when I see her later in person, which is super beneficial. So if she's got any questions at the time, she can just ping them over to me. If it is something that you're interested in, if you've come over from like my Instagram and you are interested in coaching, then give me a shout. I'm more than happy to help anyone. I'm sure that no matter what your goals are, I'll be able to push you in the right direction, or at least just have a chat to you about what it is you want to achieve and how I think is the best way to achieve it. So if you're interested, let me know. I recently came back from Vietnam, and I've taken a load of videos like being over there as like a little vlog, and I'm just going through editing the videos and putting them onto YouTube. And this is just literally just behind the screen that I was just on, so I thought I would show you some of the clips. This is one of me eating a slice of pizza whole. Unbelievable content. Make sure you tune in, make sure you subscribe, because that is going to be on my YouTube very shortly. Nice freeze frame. Now, technically, this is a Christmas edition of the journey to becoming a natural pro bodybuilder. And because this is being filmed on the 5th of December, it seems wrong not to include the old Celebrations Advent calendar. Because what a better way to start a journey to pro bodybuilding than eating chocolate out of an Advent calendar. But it feels rude not to because it's Christmas time. So it has to be done. I've already gone to the trouble of finding the correct door so you can see what's behind it. Bosh. The first 3 days of my Advent calendar this year had Bounty in, which I was absolutely buzzing about. So the first year that I competed, chocolate in my teeth. The first year that I competed, I was working at a different place that I am now, and I would go to buy a Bounty chocolate bar, 2 big Bounty chocolate bars, and I would then put it into my daily calories for the day, so I was allowed to eat it, it would fit into my macros. And I'd go, not even just into the staff room, but like outside the back of the staff room where nobody could find me, and I would get myself a black coffee, open up one of these bars of Bounty, and I would just like take my time with it, like take my sweet time. It would honestly take me like 15 minutes to eat a bar of Bounty because I was just savouring every single mouthful, because it was like the only proper chocolate that I was eating, and that little bit of coconut as well. And from that time on, Bounty has been my favourite celebrations. It never was before. I always used to talk shit about Bounty, but it's the best one. And in my calendar this year, the first 3 days I had Bounty, which I was absolutely gassed about, especially after not eating chocolate for so long. It was quite a nice surprise. But it seems that the Bounty has run out because I've not had it for the last 2 days, so we'll see. So I'm off into town before I go to do my PT session. I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't know if you can tell from my little bit nasally voice, but I need to pick up some echinacea and some other like winter stock, which is going to help me from not feeling like pure shit throughout the winter, basically. Obviously, being on prep for so long this year and like being in such a strict routine and, you know, eating the same foods every day, training, you know, my body had like a level of stress which was like manageable. But they say that when your body drops the stress, like that's when you're most likely to get ill. And so I think obviously then going to Vietnam where it was nice and sunny, it was warm and I was having fun, I was keeping busy, like for a long time I wasn't getting ill, and now that I've come back and obviously it's colder, it's wetter, it is the winter naturally, you know, there's colds going around and stuff anyway. So I do feel like I've picked up a little bit of cold, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but I just need to get some goodies to help me to feel like I'm on top form. As you can tell from the sky above me, this is what Taunton, Somerset, England is like at this time of the year, which isn't the friendliest environment. It's a little bit moody, hence why I'm going to look for some sups that will help me to feel a bit more energetic. Some of you watching will probably like relate to the winter blues almost, and especially since coming back from a holiday which was just hot and sunny most of the time. Like, it is a bit depressing, so I never normally really supplement with things like this, generally, but you know, when it's available to you, you might as well stick it in, see if it helps at all. Had to stop off for a coffee as well, naturally, because anytime I go in town, I feel like it's a wasted journey if I don't get a coffee. The coffee at Deckhouse is really nice, and they do takeaway as well, which is sweet. So I've got my bits from Holland & Barrett, which I'll show you in a second. I'm gonna go home, have my first meal. The time is 12:30. I'm sort of fasting every morning at the moment, just because being off of prep now, I quite enjoy eating a bit of food like later on in the day, and if I start eating breakfast and then have lunch, dinner at normal times, then I end up just going like over the amount of calories that I'm happy to eat. So I fast in the morning, helps with like digestion as well, I find. So fast in the morning, eat my first meal around about lunchtime. This will be my pre-workout meal as well, so I'll show you what I have when I get back. So this is what I picked up. Got some cod liver oil, vitamin D. This is echinacea, like a cold and flu immunity thing. I've noticed like people take like paracetamol, ibuprofen, that sort of thing. This I believe is like a more natural alternative to that, and I take it. Whenever I feel like I'm getting ill, I start taking this, and then whenever I am actually ill, I take it as like the same as any other like cold and flu tablets. I also picked up this turmeric super blend. So I was trying to find some shots, turmeric shots. I've had them before, and whether it's placebo or not, I'm not really too sure. But I tend to find that after I've had like a shot of turmeric, even though it's like minging, it's not particularly enjoyable to drink, I do generally feel a little bit more energized. Maybe that's just because it is so hideous that it makes me sort of like a little bit more awake. And aside from like all of the health sort of cold and flu immunity winter boosting shit, I also got some cacao nibs because they are the goat. I cannot trust myself to buy dark chocolate because I will end up just eating a whole bar at once, and that's not ideal. I literally can't just stick to having just one square of dark chocolate, especially now that I am not on prep. So cacao nibs give me that sort of little chocolatey flavour and a little bit of crunch, so put them into like my smoothie bowls, put them into my porridge, put them into my granola bowls, so it just adds a little bit of flavour, adds a little bit of crunch, which is quite nice. They're bloody expensive, mind you. This bag of 900 grams, I think it's 900 grams, no, 300 grams, cost me like £10. Obviously you only use like a tablespoon or two at a time, but I do get through them quite quick and they're quite expensive. But it stops me from eating loads and loads of calories, and it gives me that little like chocolatey style fix, so that's where I get them. So yeah, hopefully they are going to sort me out for the winter. So this is what the turmeric powder looks like in, I've got some oat milk in there as well. Keep this in the fridge, and then every day pour out a little shot glass of it. I'm going to try the first one now, let you know how it tastes, because I don't think it's going to taste particularly nice, but yeah, let's do it. Don't have a shot glass, so the Bailey's glass is going to have to do. Yummy. Here we go. Weird, but actually not that bad. I don't think you're really supposed to enjoy it. But it's not too bad. With the oat milk, it's sort of, I think the oat milk reduces the amount of spice that's in it, which is not too bad. I'm also cooking my breakfast. So I've got 3 eggs going in. I make a bang-in boiled egg. The key is 6 minutes on a rolling boil. I was doing this like a lot come the end of prep, and I absolutely perfected it. So 3 eggs, I've got 4 pieces of sourdough toast, and I've got half a small avocado, and that is my pre-workout meal. Normally I'd go for like a higher carb option. I just fancied eggs, so I figured I'd have some eggs. And I'm going to take the rest of these supplements now as well. It's got 4 sourdough, half a little avocado, 3 eggs, 1 has some banana and some honey on there, and I've got my subs there, obviously with the main Donny big glass of water. Just arrived at the gym, ready for my first PT session. The time is 10 minutes to 2. Just gonna get this one done, gonna train, got a couple more tonight. I'm not gonna film the PT because these guys are new, so I don't want to just stick a camera in the face straight away. It'd be a little bit awkward. But yeah, first day of the new program today as well. So Aaron sent me a new program. It looks very good. So I'm going to go through that later on, show you what that has in it. Main focus is on legs this year. So bring the legs up a little bit more, and like my back. So it's quite like well-rounded. That was the feedback from the judges, that I had like just not enough muscle basically everywhere. But I had like a nice symmetry and that sort of thing. So basically the goal is to build as much muscle as possible, as it always is. So this plan I think will help me to do that for sure, which is very, very exciting. So yeah, see you in a bit. So PT is done, and I'm just sipping on my pre-workout, and I have the training program here. So day 1 is upper. Not going to show you too much of it, give away the secrets. It looks very good. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to go through just because it's some new movements, some that I've been doing for a while, but obviously working out my starting weights that I'm doing. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error for the first couple of weeks, but hopefully in a couple of weeks time I'll have it all locked down. Hopefully over time it won't take me quite as long to get through, but I'm expecting today probably be a good hour and a half, 2 hours, because I'm filming as well, so it's going to be a little bit longer. But yeah, I'll film some bits for you and you'll see what I get up to.
Gym session complete. I will overlay some of my post-workout rounds, my posing over the top of, I say rounds, I did 1 round. And much like a very well-planned dance routine, you just don't forget the posing routine. I haven't practiced that posing routine since the day of the show, and it just came back to me like a duck to water. You never lose it. So it felt good. Feel like I'm in a reasonable position. I'm 8 kilos up from stage weight in probably about 4.5, 5 weeks, which is not too bad. The most of that was gained within the first few days, I will say. I had a little bit of a, not binge, but I had a few days where I enjoyed some food. But the plan going forward for now is just to eat some healthy food, eat nutritious food. I'm not worrying too much about tracking it. I'm just having like 3 or 4 meals throughout the day. Obviously heavy on the protein with some healthy fats, and just making sure that I can mix it up a little bit. Because I've not been in the country for too long since I've actually finished my show, I'm just trying to get some variation in my diet so that I can enjoy some of the foods that I've missed out on over the past year of the prep. So I'm just going to run this for a couple of weeks. That was a really good first session. Very, very good upper body session. So hopefully after a week or so with me on this new program, then I can start looking at my meal plan a little bit closer and making sure I'm eating the same thing every single day, apart from obviously the odd off-plan meal here and there. But going to go home now, get some food before my last PT session of the day. So I'm home from the gym. The time is 11 minutes past 5. I have my second meal of the day, which is, well, it looks like sludge, but it is granola, raspberries, 2 scoops of protein powder, some natural yogurt, a little bit of oat milk, and also some cacao nibs. So I'm going to have this, edit some videos for the YouTube, and then I'm back to work in 2 hours for my final PT session of the day.